What up, everyone? We are live. Okay, so what's cool is we're doing something here with video, and we're here to talk about video marketing. So I'm actually really excited that I have with me a video marketing star and Wadi Digital teammate, my friend Revital Moses. What's up, Revital? What's up?
Thank you so much.
So what people don't understand is the importance of video and how hard and how easy it is for us to actually make video. People seem to often work too hard when it comes to making video, and they don't understand what's actually involved when creating video. People think, how do I have the budget? How do I get enough people together? What do I do? How do I get everyone needed that's necessary? And then, of course, the editing, which we're definitely going to talk about. And this lady right here can tell you a lot about editing. But what most importantly is then also, how do you leverage video? Great, you made a video. Now what? How do you market it? How do you advertise it? And this is why I'm excited to have Revital with me today. Revital, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience?
For sure. First of all, thank you for having me on LinkedIn Live. It's an honor. Hi guys, my name is Revital. I was born and brought up in India, and I made Aliyah, or like moved to Israel about 2.5 years ago. I studied MBA, but then I decided to focus on hardcore, like professional dancing. That was
good decision, by the way.
As
someone who has an MBA,
right?
It's really not that relevant. Unfortunately, what you learn in an MBA is not what's actually being practiced in real life.
Correct, I agree with you.
And they don't teach you how to think independently.
Right. And plus, for myself, like personally, I feel like 20s is the time when you can actually explore if it works for you, if it doesn't work for you. So that was my call. Anyway, 3 years into professional dancing, I moved to that's a way I can probably explore. So just for fun, I started to like film videos going to Shuka Carmel or going to the north, going to the south, just film. And for fun, I started to, I learned editing by myself, obviously tutorials on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And 2 years down the line, I have a YouTube channel now.
Oh, wow. YouTube channel. Wait, what's YouTube? We're not going to get that done. But jokes aside, you have a YouTube channel. And first off, so what made you want to create video? Because let's talk about I think the first thing is that people know they need video. People like video is important. And it seems like a huge thing to mount.
Right.
And usually when within your responsibility in the business and you need to create video, you're always like, okay, great, I need to do it. You get a budget and you get to work and you might not know how. But there's something about that little oomph that makes you want to start creating video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel more than even, let's say, posting on LinkedIn, which a lot of people already have trouble doing.
Right.
What makes one actually want to come over that fear and that challenge and start to create video? Like, what was it for you? Did you brew it over? I want to make a YouTube channel about whatever, which we'll go into what you make videos about for a while. And then you decided, okay, I'm going to do it. Or how did it come about exactly that it went from thinking about, I want to make a channel, and then actually creating a channel, actually creating content, implementing it, and then continually, regularly putting out content as no one's seen your views, especially in the beginning?
Right. So I think for me personally, I did it for myself. I didn't do it for my audience. So I did it because it made me happy creating videos. And video creation and editing videos was something that was on my to-do list. So I was like, I'll anyways do it. People see, don't see, it didn't really bother me much. So I was like, this is something that I wanted to learn. So that's how I actually started. And in terms of content, I actually wanted to start my YouTube channel about 6 years ago, but I didn't have.
That's what happens to everyone. It's like years of just sitting and thinking, right?
Yeah, because I saw Superwoman, she's Levy Singh, one of the best YouTubers I know. I saw her on stage, and I decided that I will have a YouTube channel, but I didn't have content to create. But then when I moved to Israel, I was like, okay, an Indian moving to Israel, that's interesting. Change in culture, change in food, change in how people react. I think that would be great content for me to share. And obviously, initially in my head, I was like, okay, I'm going to, hit 1 million subscribers. But obviously, reality hit, it's not that easy. You need to build your brand, you need to build your audience. But I think initially, like to start with, I did it for myself because it was a lot of fun. And then eventually, when you keep consistently uploading videos, your audience, once your audience starts reacting, this is the kind of content your audience likes, and then you play around with your with the kind of content you want to put, and then based on that you build your channel, or you build your LinkedIn content, or you build your Facebook videos.
So people want to make video, right? And they're like, okay, I want to. And like you said, I've learned how to edit and all of that. And we're going to address all of that stuff. And I have a keep it simple, stupid approach. But you're like, okay, I know I need to make video. Maybe I want to do it for me as a hobby like you did, or I'm doing as a hobby for my YouTube channel. Or you're doing it for work, right? And then probably one of the first things people ask is, well, Chaim asks, what do you do when you don't have fresh content? I want to make video. I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay. Now what?
Right. So I think because, I think video creation started about a few years ago. And because now it's so easy to make, everybody's doing it. So there's like lack of content, but that's fine. It's fine to create the same content. But I personally feel if you add a personal touch to it, people do like it.
Right. So do you think people lack personality or personal touch? Or do you think people are thinking about their audience more than thinking about themselves? What is it that lacks people be able to provide that personal touch? So like, let's say today we wanted to say, okay, we're going to make a video today. What are we going to talk about? If you were to make a video today for your channel, first of all, why don't you tell them a little about your channel and then answer this question. You're like, okay, what's the next piece of content I want to make? And you have to make a decision. How would you decide that?
Okay, so starting with introducing my channel. So I'm an olim, as per the Hebrew word, like they call it, immigrant in Israel. And because I'm from India, culturally, Israel is very similar, but also very different. So I wanted to explore my channel, or I wanted people to explore Israel from my eyes, what an Indian would do in Israel and how I would react if I was living in this country. And I'll tell you what, the most important thing people look for is not the result, but the process. Like, okay, you came to Israel, but how did you come? What's the process? What went into coming to Israel? Why did you come in the first place? People want to understand the process and the reason of how it happens, and not the final product. So I think when you're creating content, the most important thing is process. Final result will come any which way.
So, if you follow through. I mean, how many people make videos and then just leave it on their phone or their computer, and they get busy with other things, and they're like, oh, this task is way too huge. Screw it. Let me go back to my email where I think I'm being productive.
Because video creation needs discipline. It needs consistency, and it doesn't come easy. It's like you have to tell your brain, okay, this is my schedule. This time I'm going to be researching about this content. Let's say on a Thursday evening, I want to research. On a Friday morning, I'm going to write my script. On a Saturday morning, I'm going to film. So you need to sort of create a timetable. I know it seems to be very like mundane, but this is what keeps you going, keeps you consistent, keeps you disciplined. And a lot of people, like it's a long process, and people don't like long. People love shortcuts, but
right. And then that's the problem. There are no shortcuts in video, but there are ways that you can cut out a lot of the process, and we'll get into it. So, okay, I'll give you. So today you have to make a video for your channel. We linked in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Revital's channel. And she could pay me to say that. Lunch is on you. Jokes aside, what do we do here, right? So we got it, and you want to make a content today, tomorrow. You say, tomorrow morning, I'm waking up, I'm making a video. So like you said, you schedule the time, in advance, and you're going to make a video. Right. And you say, okay, I'm going to make a video, let's say once a week, once every 2 weeks. Right. And that means you got to get something up before Shabbat. So you want to make a video and record it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You have nothing on your mind. How do you decide now? Do you go search the news? Do you ask people? Do you see what people commented on your other YouTube videos? What do you do? Do you scroll Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, Facebook to see what other people, how do you get inspiration to decide this is some content I'm going to make?
So first things first, because I'm a planner, I'm a big planner. So I make a list of things, or a list of like types of content, or like type of topics I could create videos on. And I take inspiration from the most basic application everybody has is Instagram. Go on Instagram, go on YouTube, see what is the most searched content, and see if it interests you to really talk about it. Because I feel like, yes, people do make searchable content, but if you don't enjoy it, it will not come across through your audience. So you need to make sure that the content that you you want to create, you also enjoy creating it, because I think once you put intention in that content, audience automatically like gets glued to you and they sort of connect to your personality.
Okay, so how are you gonna make it tomorrow? You got to make a video. What are you doing it on? How do you decide?
So number one, make a list. Or if I feel like, okay, I don't feel like making a plan, I just wake up.
Nothing comes to you.
Nothing comes to me. And then, okay. So today I came to Wadi. So because we work remotely. So today I'm like, okay, what do I do? How's my day like? A day at Wadi, a day at Pardes Khana.
You got to hear that.
Very
Revital's
random.
coming out with the video with one day at Wadi, so look forward to it. When should we expect this?
Sometime soon.
Sometime soon. You're on the spot here. If anyone wants to put Revital on the spot, you're more than welcome. I'll also address Chaim's question. So first thing is that like there's two kinds of content you can create. This is in general for business or hobby. You can call out things in two ways, right? There's seasonality or relevant or time sensitive. Something's in the news, something is happening, right? So she makes a lot of videos about Israel, sometimes Israel-India connection because she's a lot from India. So let's say if the Israeli prime minister is meeting the Indian leader, and so maybe she'll make a video about that and talk about how politics might be similar. That's something in the news. And in the same, so that will get a lot more searches. People might be searching Israel-India, leaders meet or something on Google or YouTube, and therefore they're more likely to see this video. On the other hand, you could just think of general things. This is when you make a list. I have a draft email open for myself. For example, a post on LinkedIn I want to do, and some videos I want to do. I have a Monday board of people I want to interview that are, let's say for now, they have a much bigger audience than me, and I'm trying to work and network my way to find them. So yes, having a list, but you can't sometimes sit down and just create a list. That's hard. So what I recommend is have an open sheet of paper, an open draft email, an open Monday Trello Asana board, and just whenever you think of something, write it down. And then throughout your day and throughout your as you consume media and your conversations, you'll think of things and then you just add it to your list. And then when something happens suddenly, then you go through your list like, oh, I'm really feeling this now. You know, something happened. And sometimes it's the best content. Some of the best content I come with could be on biz dev, sales calls, serving clients, that I come up with ideas when it comes to general marketing content and marketing ideas and strategy that we might come up with, or some optimization ideas. And that's what feeds my LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. But also you can then also scroll social media. So if you're looking to answer questions and provide value, then going to Quora is a great place. See what questions there are. Search hashtags on Twitter. That's another great suggestion to see what questions and what people are doing. The Twitter search is very powerful. And these are some of the easiest way to make content. And you can just see what's going on in the news and then you can discuss it. And that's the main thing. And the main thing is easily finding something that's then just start making content. So that should be your first focus. Should we talk about all the love that you have here? Look at all these people that love you. Where's my love, guys?
I love it. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, here we go. We got Mitch Schneider. Look at that. You got big fans.
Mitchell.
And then Asher says, you such good videos.
Hi, Asher. Thank you so much.
What's up, Gilad Newman? Interesting info. What's up, Gilad? Okay, so Pratik, a mutual friend of ours. How do you use video to generate leads for business, right? I'll take this one. I think this is a little more down my angle, and I would love to hear what you think.
Yeah.
You need to understand what's going on in the market, right? So as an example, right now it's August 31st, so 2022. So we're thinking maybe in another month or two, let's say after the Jewish holidays, in October, people are already going to start to think about budgets for 2023. So making a video about budget for 2023 will help, let's say, Wadi Digital for lead generation, as an example. If you're in cybersecurity, if there's a big hack, first thing you want to do immediately, and we'll get to the processes, take out a camera, make a video of yourself, talk about it, and upload it. When there's something big in the news, the main thing is speed. So we're going to talk about cutting out working on editing, or my opinion is you shouldn't edit at all, because I don't think it's worth the squeeze, at least when, let's say, at the amount of followers that I have, maybe when I'm 10x, then there'll be something else. But these are the kind of things that you find out that what's relevant and what your audience is thinking about. The other thing is that speak to sales. If you're in lead generation, find out what are the pain points that your current prospects, clients, leads, if you're a UX developer, like how they're using your platform, the new cool things you can do on your platform if you're SaaS, and actually share this information. Make a video, do a screen recording, and go ahead. And this is the kind of information that you need to create leads. Find the pain point, find what hurts them, and use that to specifically create relevant videos. And that's what's going to help you create leads. In addition, though, and then there's the marketing and the advertising aspect. In addition to actually uploading it, but how do we then use the video, which is the more, I think, specific part of Pratik's question here, is advertising. Of course, post to your socials, but you don't get to control who controls it and what messaging they specifically see. Using advertising, you're able to segment your target audience and put a different messaging to them. So if I were to make a video about, let's say, technology marketing, just as a generality, I might want to target the marketers at tech. I might want to target founders. I might want to target the VCs that back them, right? So I might even want to target procurement. So these are different people that I may want to reach. So I can take a different ad, I could take a similar video, and then I can I can write ad messaging when targeting, speaking specifically to founders, right? Are you a founder of a tech company? Are you trying to scale your business? Here are the first few things that you should do to start creating leads, right? Or if I'm speaking to a marketer, is about like, are you not sure how to distribute your marketing budget in order to properly scale lead generation, right? Or to get the reach that you need? Here's some things to consider. Right. And so you can take the same video and literally use it for lead generation by segmenting and targeting and speaking directly to the people that you want. Anyone has more questions about lead gen, go ahead and drop them and we'll make sure to ask it. Chaim wants to know, Revital, your videos. So Revital, I think we should talk about a little bit what you do about scripting and editing, right? So you have a different approach. Yes. My approach is like this. I take my phone, I make a video, or I interview someone on the camera on my laptop, and I tell them I'm not editing it. Tell me anything I should not ask or not say. And usually they say everything's fine. You can ask anything you want, and then I won't edit it. And I'll tell them, this is human. I'm not cutting out the ums and all that. I'm not trying to script it. I think scripting takes away from the authenticity of the conversation. This is why I love lives and AMAs. I don't have a script. You're my script. You ask those questions. We answer them. You give us feedback, share what you learn and what you think, and we'll have a conversation. We'll learn a lot more than a one-directional script. Video, more than anything else, in a sense, kind of like a video call, is that we can have a back and forth conversation if you go live or if you actually listen to your audience. As opposed to if you're doing a social media post, you might post something on LinkedIn, and then the conversation happens after the fact, not in real time. And they're often siloed based on the comments and the replies, and then the sub-replies that goes into it. So that's kind of why I like to stay away from scripting. I just want to know what I should bring up, what I shouldn't talk about. But her quality of videos are much greater than mine. So I'm sure to some extent you have some kind of outline, some kind of script, and then maybe we can go into a little bit of editing.
So depending on my video, I prepare a script. If it's an informational video where there's a process involved, there's a lot of like information involved, then obviously I script, because the information that I'm providing, I want to make sure that I don't miss out on anything. But if, say, for example, I'm going for an Indian-Israeli wedding and it's a vlog, I don't script it. I just go with the flow. Did you have one in mind? In fact, I did. I'm going to attend an Indian-Israeli wedding just tomorrow. So hopefully you get to see, what an Indian-Israeli wedding looks like. But for me personally, if it's an informational video, there has to be a script because I don't want to miss out on anything. And it also gives me a good flow.
Right. So actually before this, Revital was like, so what are we going to talk about? And I was like, I don't know. We'll talk about video. You know everything about videos in your head. Everything I know is in my head. We've both been producing, creating, sharing content, engaging. We've been doing it all. We speak to people. We bring people in. So that's why I often think that a script, especially in conversation, in my opinion, should be thrown out. You can say, okay, these are the 3 things maybe we should cover, but leave out the script. But if you're going to do something like, as an example, if let's say you do a video testimonial, you might want to include like how much pipeline it led to, or how it secured things so specifically on your site, or how it led, to increased speed or more productivity or efficiency. You want to make sure the bullets that you want them to cover in the testimonial, and it's easy for someone on video to forget in the moment. So it's important that in that case, you might want to give them, here are the 3-4 bullets that you said that you love about our product. Please make sure to incorporate them. Right. So you don't need a script, but at least an outline into a sense. Correct. But you, on the other hand, would you say, do you actually write out the words you're going to say on camera, like sentence, paragraph format?
I do. Like I said, I'm a planner. I write each and everything because I know how my videos are going to look, and it helps me edit my videos.
Wait, so do you know, as you create your video, do you know, do you have end in mind?
Say it again?
Like, do you have end in mind when you're like, okay, you're going to make a video about a day at Wadi Digital, you're going to an Indian-Israeli wedding tomorrow night. So how are you going to be able to, do you have in mind, here's what it's going to look like the video, before you start writing the script? Do you already have the whole thing in mind?
Yes, I try and ideate what my day would look like, what I could look for, something interesting during the day that I could probably add to my videos. But in terms of script, obviously I don't script, but I have an idea how my day could look like. And then I plan, then I film accordingly.
Awesome. Okay, got it. And then so you make a script. How long is your script? How many pages? So what's the average size of your video? How many minutes?
So I try and keep up to say like 10 minutes, because especially for YouTube, I like long form content. Also short form content is great, but I feel like audience is able to connect with you when you have a long form content, in terms of like building a trust and like connect to your personality. So up to 10 minutes and above, I think is a great video length.
Okay, so let's say you have a 10-minute video, then you plan it's going to be around 10 minutes. How long is your script usually?
So my script is up to 15 minutes long, because I know editing is going to cut out a lot of.
How many words? What does that look like on paper? Because you write out your script first, right? So what does that look like on paper?
So maybe like a page or two long, with like intro, outro, whatever, like intermission. I write down everything. But obviously it doesn't go up to 15 minutes. I try and edit everything. I try and keep quality content. I cut out the bullshit. So
right, especially if you're reading it and if you're scripting it. Okay, so under 2 pages of 1 to 2 pages leads to about 10 minutes of content of Revital's kind of videos. So you kind of get an idea. So it's really not that much writing. So you can think like, you can blogs are often that length.
Right.
Okay, so you get this is great for public speaking as well. This is a good comment actually. Yo, there's real good stuff. That is true, by the way. The whole script, a couple bullets, I think is what he's referring to specifically. Look at this. You got David Garb. He did the photography for Wadi's team. Says hi. And there's a lot of other love here. If anyone has any other questions, drop them in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and we'll use them. Have you done any interviews?
In fact, this is my first interview, so thanks for having me.
Oh, lovely. How's it going so far?
It's going well. I did tell you, like, do you think we should like note down a couple of bullet points? It's like, just be yourself. You don't need a script. And I do agree, because I think the flow is better when it comes to a conversation. And I feel like I need to be a little more flexible, not having a script, and just explore what it feels like to have a non-scripted video. So thanks for making me do it.
Do you think your new videos that are more planned and aren't interviews, would you think they'll be less scripted from this experience?
Maybe.
Or probably not. Maybe you'll leave a little bit, because you'll have more takes. You have to redo more takes and all that.
Right. I agree with you. But I feel like if I want to create my videos like with better quality, I need to explore, like, not just scripted, but let me try without a script. Let's see how that goes, and let's see how audience reacts to it, and then that's how I know, okay, this is my game, or like, okay, no, I think I should stick to a script. So I think the next phase is going to be exploration.
Got it. Okay. So if you're doing it, let's say if you're not doing an interview and you intend to make a higher quality video, maybe for your business, then you do need a kind of a script to understand what your outline is. Correct. Right, 1 to 2 page. Try writing 1 page of a script, what you're going to talk about, and the words that you like to come out of your mouth. Just like giving a speech, right? You would say it's like if you were going to give a speech, let's say at an Indian Israeli wedding. This is going to be fun. I'm just going to plug this. And you're going to give a speech. Maybe you're the best man, and so you want something right now because you don't want to forget an important part of the speech. But on the other hand, you can put it in front of a video, and you can have it, and then you add the elements of the video. Right. So you have the script now, and you're like, okay, get an idea. This is going to be maybe 8 to 10 minutes. It's a page long. How long does it take you to write your script? Ask Mr.
Well, it depends on my research. Like sometimes it's half an hour, and sometimes it takes me 2 days, like to refine my script. So
right. How many minutes is that total? The writing, refining.
Writing, refining. Let's say up to maximum 5 hours.
Okay, you just get the shit out of people.
No, again,
what's the minute?
Again, like, it's a personal thing because I'm a perfectionist. I want everything like the way I see in my head. But if you're like fine, chill with it, it can take up to like maybe 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Like 60 minutes is good enough for like scripting and refining as well.
Right. It also depends how much you know about the what you're talking about.
Right.
So you went to was it the Deaf and Blind Museum? What was it?
It was a Cologne Museum of Design.
Right. Lovely. So check it out. And so you probably were like, well, I'm going to learn here. You couldn't write the script before. Did you, when you went there, did you intend on making a video about the location?
Actually, no, that was something which I thought, oh shit, like this is something that I need to film for my video because look at it, it's beautiful. So that was something that I did not ideate, I did not plan for, and I just started to film that video.
Now, was that process faster or slower for you?
That was fast.
Right. So it's faster when you didn't have to think, the less you think, the easier and faster it is. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you think you think too much?
I do.
Do you think you plan too much?
I plan too much.
Do you script too much? Let's see how far we can get her.
I feel like I
the
need
quality
to
of her videos are going to start to tank because of this conversation.
I feel like I personally think I don't invest so much time in scripting. I'm very harsh on myself, but
you should be.
I feel like if I
It's
script
good.
more, it gets my video quality even like it gets high. So
Right. Got it. So you went in there. Would you say the quality of that video was better than your other ones because you didn't go into it planning as opposed to most of your other videos?
Not really. It was fine. It could have been better, but for an unplanned video, it was great.
Got it. So let's say you go. So let's say you have one more planned, which is most people, and especially in business, they know what they want to plan. That happened to be. I happen to call out the one that you didn't. So you're like, okay, I have a script, and I'm gonna give me an example of the video you had a script on.
Right now, like moving to Israel, benefits, immigration benefits.
Yeah, okay. Olim benefits as an Elad, Jew moving to Israel gets certain benefits when they move here. So did you research and wrote the script? How long did it take?
A day.
A day. How many hours?
3 hours.
That's not a day. What is this?
Like,
It was like Sweden, you like 3 hours of sunlight. Okay, a day. Okay, so 3 hours. 3 hours it took you to do the research and write up the script. Okay,
Right.
then what?
Then I had to listen, like the thing is you throw everything on paper and then you sort of what do you say? You put it in order. Okay, like what's Alia? Who is what is like for who Alia is, and then what are the benefits? The top benefits, obviously, you place it first, and then you film it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, great.
Yeah.
So and then you film it. So now let's talk about the filming. Someone asked you film in one take. We'll get to that in a minute because I assume you don't. What does the filming look like?
In general?
Yeah. Walk us through the filming.
Okay, so
Is someone there? Do you have like someone like following you, the camera?
Actually, no. I'm
by the way. Selfie stick?
No.
She's a selfie stick, doesn't it? You're a selfie stick.
No, I have a tripod, but I get very conscious when people are around. So I try and film by myself because I am like myself 100%. So I have a tripod and I film on budget, which means I don't use a fancy camera. I use my iPhone because iPhone has great quality camera. So I was smart about it and I was like, yalla, let's use an iPhone. I got a very cheap tripod and that's it. I think the only challenge is like, I would love to take like a one take video, but I personally feel that if I film segment by segment, it's better for my videos. So I have to start and stop by myself.
Why is it better? Why is the segments better?
I think number one reason is I found it very difficult to transfer my videos when it's like
smaller.
It's difficult to transfer when they're like heavy videos, and it's easier to just transfer like 1 minute, 2 minute short videos. So that's number one. And number two, I feel like I space out when I do a one take video. Unless it's a dancing video, I can do a dancing video which is one take.
Which is coming out when?
In a month or two when I go to India.
Are you drinking at his wedding tomorrow night? Blooper reel coming up.
I think because I was professionally dancing, it was easier for me to have a one take video, like 1 minute, 2 minutes with no cuts. But especially when I'm speaking, that is not my comfort zone. Like speaking, I'm learning to speak on camera. Like I'm comfortable, but speaking doesn't come so easy to me. So I try and not take one take videos.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only challenge with filming on a phone is you need to like start and stop and like again adjust the frame when you're filming on a tripod.
Right. Does your tripod have wheels on it?
No, actually, so I have to just like get up from my chair, start, stop.
But don't you they have like USB remotes where you can like start, stop? You don't do that?
I think I should get one of those. I just like
it's like $2.
I felt like it was I didn't need it because I just got comfortable doing that. So
okay, cool. I dig it. All right, so you go ahead and you do how many? So you cut it up in a bunch of takes, 1 and 2 minutes long.
Also, just to add, with when I have a script, I complete filming my videos quickly because I have my script and then there's no like wasting of time because then I have to think that I have my script, I stick to it, and boom, I finish filming my video end to end within like 10 to 15 minutes.
Amazing. So that's the main thing. So you have your script, you know what you're saying, and then do you know on your script, do you know when you're going to cut your videos? Like you say, you might segment it to 5 or 6. So you're like, okay, this part's video 1, stop.
Yes.
And this video 2, stop. And then you'll, let's say, make 10 minutes of content. You'll go back and then you'll view all of them on your phone and see if you need to do a retake.
No. So what I do is it's easier to sort of clean your video on the laptop. So I transfer everything.
But what if your take sucked? Don't you watch it on your phone first?
So because I plan so much in advance, I always try and take 2 takes of every bit of my script. And then I know in that moment, okay, now this is the video, or this is the second video is going to be the part when I'm going to add to the video. So I'm very like, I know, okay, this is the part.
So you watch both on your computer later.
Yes.
And then you say this, yes, this, no, delete the old one,
yes.
and then move on, go to the next part, to the few segments. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. So you'll go somewhere, you'll do the video, you'll do the recording, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, great. So you have a bunch. Here's your script. You're speaking in front of the camera. Be a really nice video. Use some B-roll. How do you incorporate, choose, and decide that? How does that recording happen? Do you buy B-roll off the internet, or do you find how do you do this?
When you say B-roll, do you mean like additional videos or additional photos that I add to my video? Yeah. So basically, to make your videos more interesting, people want to see not just like your face and your voice, but something relatable to what you're speaking. So when I talk about let's say Israel, so I put photos of Israel, videos of Israel, so people know, oh, like Israel, because a lot of people have not been to Israel, especially like people from India or like other countries. So they want to see how Israel looked, like how Israel, what do you say in terms of location, or like a shuk, what it looks like. People don't know how it looks. So I try and incorporate these videos so that it's easier for people to, sort of relate. And in terms of getting copyright free content, there are a lot of free websites that provide such content. So Unsplash, and there's, I think, Pinterest. You can always like get stuff from there, and good quality stuff. So I think that's
Pinterest. That's a good one. I didn't think that's really good. That's actually a really nice tip. So you grab these images and these videos, and then how do you decide when the video is going to focus on you talk, your face while you talk, or when it's just going to be your voice over a video or an image?
So that comes to me when I'm editing my videos. So I put in a lot more time in editing than researching.
Mm-hmm. I do feel that's probably everybody, no? Yeah, I mean, if it's not like extremely technical, but instead you also usually have that information.
So my editing process is, I have a raw video, I edit it, like I don't focus on the details. I see, okay, now this is my structure, like this is my 10-minute video. Okay, now get into the details. And then get into, what do you say, like, okay, this is the part where I could probably put a sound effect, or like what do you say, a photo. Okay, now then I just, once I edit that, I don't look at it. Next day I go back to the video and see, okay, do I feel the same way about this part? If not, then I delete it. Like I go over and over it again to see how I feel, how my audience would react to it. I put myself in my audience's shoes and see, okay, this is the part where they're like, whoa, this transition is great. And then finally it's ready to like upload on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I go over it again and again after I edit it.
But how do you know when to put what image or video? Do you okay, maybe I misunderstood something. Do you have the images and videos of what you want to include in the video before you start editing?
No. So this is when I have my videos ready, I start downloading additional content to be added in the video.
Say it again.
So once my video is ready and once my structure is ready, the raw structure, that's when I actually start downloading additional content. Like, yes, in my head, okay, when I'm writing the script, okay, I will download this and this and this for this video. But when I'm editing it, that's when I actually download and then incorporate in my video.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then how do you know what to incorporate, what photo or video image over your voice when? You kind of just know when you see it, like, oh, this image, oh, I should put it over when I talk about this.
Yeah, like, yes, like very direct. When I'm talking about a monkey, I put a photo of a monkey or whatever, just an example. But again, like editing comes with experience. So I feel like I still need to work on my editing, but it's gotten so much better. And people talk about my editing, like people personally message me saying that, hey, Ravi, this video was much better than the video that you created like 4 months ago. So I know like we shouldn't get validation from anybody, but this really helps you to like, focus on, okay, these things probably I need to work on. Okay, my music editing is great, but probably my photo editing in the video isn't that great. And it's good to get some feedback, but it does come from experience.
Right. Well, everything actually comes from experience. Okay. So you have an idea, you're talking about something, and then you go search for those images and videos to place over your voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then what kind of software do you use?
So I use Wondershare Filmora. It's
What?
Wondershare.
One to share? Wondershare. Okay.
Wondershare Filmora. It's a good basic software for video editing. I personally love it. I feel like I can't use any other software other than this one.
Because I got used to it, or because it's perfect for you?
I think I got used to it. And
right. That's usually what happens, right? There's high switching costs. Like the learning curve is switching.
I feel like because now I've learned everything, I'm like comfortable, and I want to focus more on my quality of content.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like do enough research so that you have like good quality of videos. Because some people just like, okay, this is the video, but like, for example, say benefits, immigration benefits. I personally didn't know that you get rent subsidy, but only after this research I realized, okay, there is rent subsidy for immigrants. And I didn't find this in any other videos when I researched, like when I was making Aliyah. So I wanted to make sure that I'm filling that gap. So I feel like if I research enough, the quality of content, and I get a lot of content to share, because I feel like there's a lot of content missing in people's videos, and people are just like
what? Give me an example that many people can relate to. Like a stereotypical one that you feel like a little more content is missing here that might be relatable.
Like, for example, apps to use in Israel. I didn't know you could transfer money through Bit. I would just do it through a Lumi bank transfer. But Bit is much more easy, but nobody told me about it because there's there's nobody sharing about all of this.
Right. So, or they're not marketing it well and they're not reaching you.
Maybe also that. So I want to make sure I cover everything and then share it.
Right. So. Okay. Got it. So now that we scare the shit out of people into making videos, why don't you give some tips on how people can streamline a process like this? We talk about how to make it easy, right? So let's give the focus on that, because I believe in one live take when you can. Obviously, the content you create needs a script, at the very least an outline. You need to have an idea. You will need some editing. Often you're on site, on location, so therefore you need editing, as opposed to here we have a stable camera, so we don't need editing. If you need to take a camera with you, if you want to demonstrate someone, if you're doing a testimonial, something like that, often you'll need to do more editing. So what would be some tips that you can provide that people can make the whole process from, we already discussed choosing the video, but let's say how you can make your script easy, your research easy, your recording easy, and your editing easy. How can we streamline, make it a very much easier process so we're not intimidating people, so they're more likely to create video that can provide value?
Right. So I know like a lot of people loves not planning because
like me, yeah.
Because you don't invest a lot of time. But I personally think if you plan, rest of it becomes easy. Let's say in terms of research, I try and write bullet points because then it's easier for me to research. And then when I'm actually just randomly scrolling through Instagram and YouTube, I see some things that I think might help me in the future, or like in future videos. I just add the link to my content inventory, because then later on when I'm researching, I don't have to look for, oh shit, like I came across this video like 4 months ago. I don't know where it is. I already have that stored in my content inventory. I do that all the time. So you save a lot of time looking for the right content, authentic content, or like authentic websites that you came across 4 months ago and you can't find it anymore. That's number one. Number two, I think research is best done when you have a fresh mind. I have a fresh mind early morning because I'm a morning person. But if you're a night person, do the research when you're like most comfortable. But for me, it works early morning. So I wake up, do research, and it's quick. It's like 20 minutes and I'm good. So that's that. I think in terms of
just so you keep research for 20 minutes. I think that's a big part of it, because like if you know what you want to talk about and you know how to use and you know how to properly research, you already kind of have a working script in your head before you start writing.
Correct.
So you already have the whole idea and the vision of the video within 20 minutes of research, if you kind of know, you know what you want to talk about, right? Okay. And we already discussed how to do that. And then, okay, so now you know what you want to talk about. You did the research, you know your shit. Right. Okay, great. 20 minutes. Now we want to go and write a script. How do we make a script easy?
Again, like follow us, like create a storyboard in your head, and then visualize for like a minute or two how you're going to film it, how it's going to look like, how your audience might perceive, and then start creating a structure on paper. I think that's the most easy. And obviously, like with flow, everything just comes in. But I think just ideating like gets you 50% there. So that's that. And I think just to include budget, again, budget is subjective. His budget could be $10,000. My budget could be $5,000. So prioritize like what you want to invest in. Okay, it could be the gears, it could be editing software. So I decided to invest on the editing software than the gear itself, because I felt editing is more important than.
If you're going to edit, I agree. Yes.
Yes.
It's more painful. Also, the quality of video is like on any smartphone is good enough.
Is good enough.
It's good enough. It's good enough. And the quality of what you actually discuss and cover in the conversation is far more important, I think, than the gear. People will listen to a conversation or something that they think is.
I agree with you.
It's far second place, if anything.
Right.
It's that I think the quality of the content. If you don't go to quality content, you don't quality editing, you have to make it as easy as possible to create video, which is why I think using the smartphone connection, even if you have your own camera, it's just easier.
Right.
And with good software, will make it easier.
Right. And obviously, like when you grow, when you have like, say, 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers, and you feel like, okay, I need to invest in a good camera, then go for it. Even like eventually, if you have the budget, go for it. But if you don't, then play smart. And I think in terms of editing comes with practice. It used to take me like 2 to 3 hours a day to just like edit a structure. But now since I'm like on it.
What do you mean edit a structure? What do you mean?
Like the raw structure, like getting all the videos on the software and then seeing where to cut, what not to put, the raw structure, without the music and without the special effects. That alone took me like 2 hours. And now it's ready, let's say within 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
How many videos did it take you to go from the first time that took you 2 hours to now it takes you 15 minutes?
I think about 10 videos.
10 videos. Okay, so
Yes.
let's give a very big tip here. If you intend on creating video, one, chill out. Don't be intimidated. That's number one. Number two, don't create 1 or 2, 3 videos. There's an insane learning curve over the course of 10 videos. That's the difference of being 2 hours to 15 minutes, right? It's huge. You also learn what topics you want to cover, how to write an outline. Everything goes faster. So what I would like for you to do is, if you're intending to create video for a hobby or for business or for whatever, is that make a commitment of, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make 10 videos, and I'm going to do it every week or every 2 weeks or once a month. Put in the calendar to do everything. And you'll be frustrated at first and say, screw it. And especially after the first time, and the second time, you're like, I don't want to go through that again. But it's literally going to be like half the time the second time, and then half of that third.
Exactly.
And so it's important that you understand that this is a learning curve, right? That you don't just, a baby doesn't give up on walking, right? It gets up and falls. It gets up and falls. It gets up time to hurt themselves, whatever. But eventually, look at that. Now we're walking, we're running, we're skiing, we're snowboarding, Revital's dancing. And so these are the kind of things that it just becomes very easy and natural, but it's going to take you time, and you're going to have to frustrate yourself a little bit. So have a little bit of tolerance for frustration, knowing that is totally temporary. It's a learning curve, like learning to drive or learning to walk, and before learning to skate. You'll get there. But it's just about putting in those several videos. If you don't make a commitment and put the time aside to do that, then you're not going to get to a point where doing it is easy. When I first had to do the setup, the technical setup of doing lives, right now we're using StreamYard. The first time, second and third time took forever. I hated it. It sucked. I had someone help me, and I learned it, and then it got better, and it's easy and fast. Now, what we try to do before it went live, we actually try to do it on my phone with the camera, hook up a mic. I tried something new technically. It didn't work. And we're like, okay, shit, it's 12:57. We got to go live in 3 minutes. But I know how to do this on my phone because the learning curve is fast, because I've already done StreamYard, went into StreamYard, plugged in the camera on my laptop. This is set up on my laptop right now. I'll plug and play microphone, and we're set. And that's it. Now I'm done. And I'm able to have a conversation in person. If it was over video, over online, I'd have a headset with the microphone. And that took literally 2 minutes to get set up, even though we spent 30 minutes trying to set up a new way to do it technologically. And that learning curve took too long. I didn't put enough time, but then I had to fall back to something that takes me a minute. If I want to go live, it literally takes me a few minutes, a few clicks, put in the name of the title. That's it. Send to stream, test my audio and video. You know what I mean? And literally in 5 minutes, we're here. We're happy you're here also to Mr. Gilad Newman.